Today, I want to talk to you about something different, something that is changing how many people, especially women, experience love. We're diving into a fascinating, yet often misunderstood topic: polyamory and non-traditional relationships. Have you ever wondered why more and more women are embracing these new ways of loving? Or maybe you're curious about how they work, their benefits, and their challenges. If so, you're in the right place. Imagine for a moment that love is like a garden. Traditionally, we've been taught to nurture one single flower, dedicating all our energy to it. But what if you could cultivate an entire meadow? Not because one flower is less valuable, but because the meadow represents a different perspective on love, one that allows greater freedom and authenticity. In recent years, polyamory, having romantic and intimate relationships with more than one person at the same time, with the consent and knowledge of everyone involved, has become a much discussed topic. But here's something fascinating. It's not new. Indigenous communities like the Mosuo in China or certain tribes in Africa have practiced forms of multiple partnerships for centuries. Our Western, monogamy-centered view of love is relatively recent in human history. Today, more and more women are questioning this one-size-fits-all model. Why? One of the main reasons is that polyamory offers something deeply desired: emotional freedom. Freedom to love multiple people without guilt. Freedom to express themselves outside the rigid boundaries of traditional relationships. And there's more. Recent studies show that many women see polyamory as a way to build connections based on transparency and authenticity. Let's talk about transparency for a moment. Have you ever been in a relationship where you felt you had to hide parts of yourself? Maybe a hobby your partner didn't share, or a friendship that seemed too much in someone else's eyes. Polyamory eliminates those secrets. Everything is open. Everything is discussed. Sure, it's not always easy, but many women find this radical honesty incredibly liberating. Take Maria, for example. She's 35 and lives in a polyamorous relationship with 2 partners. She told me that, for her, polyamory isn't just a romantic choice. It's an act of self-discovery. She says, "It doesn't mean I love my first partner any less. It means love isn't a pie to divide. It's more like a flame. The more you share it, the more it grows." And this brings us to an important point. Many people think polyamory is just an excuse to have multiple romantic encounters, but it's so much more. It's about communication. It's about emotional work. It's about accepting that love isn't always easy, but it's worth exploring in all its forms. Now, let's tackle a big myth: jealousy. It's natural to wonder how jealousy works in a polyamorous relationship. The truth, it doesn't disappear entirely. But here's what changes: how it's handled. In polyamory, jealousy isn't seen as a taboo, but as an emotion to work through together. It's a chance to grow, to better understand yourself and your needs. There are even workshops and books dedicated to this topic. One of the most famous is The Ethical Slut, a foundational text on building healthy and ethical polyamorous relationships. And jealousy isn't the only challenge. Polyamory requires a level of communication many people aren't used to practicing. Imagine having to explain not just what you're feeling, but why you're feeling it, and doing that with more than one person. It's like an emotional gym. So why are more women choosing this path? For many, it's about empowerment. It's about reclaiming the right to define love on their own terms. It's not just a rebellion against societal norms. It's a personal journey toward greater self-awareness. And I want to be clear, polyamory isn't for everyone. Not all women will feel comfortable in this type of dynamic, and that's okay. But what we can learn from polyamory is the value of communication, transparency, and authenticity, no matter what kind of relationship we choose. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a question. What does love mean to you? Is it an exclusive bond with one person? Is it a deep connection with multiple souls? Or is it something that changes and evolves over time? Whatever your answer, remember this: love isn't a formula. It's a journey. And each of us has the right to choose the path that feels most right. If this video made you think, leave me a comment. I'd love to know what you think about these new ways of loving. Have you ever considered polyamory, or do you know someone who has? And if you feel inspired, Give this video a like and share it with someone who might find it interesting. Sending you a big virtual hug and wishing you a journey filled with authenticity and self-discovery.